Tajon Perkins. I'm your host for today's 100 Live, and today on our show we have Mr. Rodney Smith. Hello, sir.
Hey, how are you?
Good. First question, Mr. Smith, you are known as a community leader who leads the gathering. Please tell us about that.
Well, a gathering is actually an opportunity for people from the community to meet one another, introduce themselves to each other, preferably breaking bread together, and with the belief that once we get to know one another, that we're able to trust one another, and once you develop trust, you're actually able to work together and do some things to improve our community.
So once with the gathering, is it like every year or just?
It's actually every Friday, and that's regardless of whether there's a holiday or not. People still want to come to the gathering. Not only do we have people from the local community that comes, but we are known really all over the country. So sometimes people will fly in from DC, whether they're politicians or business people, to come to the gathering to get an idea of what's going on in Las Vegas and meet some of the locals.
What are your long-term goals for the gathering?
Well, pretty much the gathering is an opportunity to just enhance what it is that people want to do. It's also a way when new people come to town that may not know much about Las Vegas, even though it's a small city, it's not necessarily the most welcoming city. So at the gathering, we can be a resource for people who come to Las Vegas and want to learn more about the people, want to learn more about the culture that is in Vegas. Plenty of people say there's no culture in Vegas. There actually is some, and what there isn't, we have the opportunity to create. So really with the gathering is just to continue to have it as a place and a resource where people can come and introduce themselves and get to find out about other people.
So like you said with the gathering and they coming on the holidays, is it okay if they bring their family with them?
And we actually encourage family. One of the things about the gathering was actually created by Sam Smith, and Sam Smith is really one of those people in the community that every community should have a Sam Smith. And so Sam believed that we just have to talk to one another. We don't talk enough with each other. So because of that, we've been doing it for 9 years. Sam transitioned over 2 years ago, and we've still been carrying it on. And the reason why we do it on Fridays that are holidays is because usually someone will call me up and say, "Hey, Rodney, I want to come to the gathering. Are you having it?" So I say, "Sure," and we have it.
You recently ran for Congress, CD4. What made you want to run, and will you run again?
Well, whether I'll run again is debatable. Once was definitely more than enough. It is a great experience, and I would encourage everyone that if you haven't run, to run or look to help someone who is running, because after all, that's what is the function of citizens, is our form of government in this country is really a citizen-fueled and citizen-led government. So the citizens have to participate. The more citizens that participate, the better and stronger our government and our country is. I ran because the district that I was wound up representing has one of the largest percentages of African Americans of any other district in the state. It also has one of the largest percentages of veterans of any district in the state, as well as active duty. Well, I'm an African American, I'm a veteran, and there was no African American or veteran or anyone else who had lived in the district as long as I had. So I figured that I had some corporate knowledge that would definitely benefit the constituents of the district.
Before we continue, it's now time for our 30 seconds of viewer question segment. Number 1, would you choose Air Force or Marines?
Air Force.
Number 2, hip hop or jazz?
Combination.
Live music or albums?
Albums.
Reading or watching TV?
Reading.
Reading?
I can sit in my living room or my bedroom or my office, and reading a book will take me all over the world. Reading will enhance my vocabulary. Reading gives me the opportunity to know things and become familiar with peoples that I may not otherwise ever see. And I can do that all from a book that doesn't cost that much. It relaxes me, and more importantly, it just stimulates me, not only mentally and intellectually, but in other ways too. Reading is one of the most valuable resources that for the most part is free that we can do.
So like when you said that you like to read, Did you feel closer to the characters?
Well, when you read, you have an opportunity to immerse yourself into what you're reading. And you immerse yourself into what you're reading from what you're getting out of the book. Whereas when you're watching television or a movie, it's someone else's idea, concept of what they think. It's their interpretation that they're presenting to whomever the viewers are. But when you're reading the book, you can immerse yourself into the storyline. You can be any character in the storyline that you want to be, or as you're reading the book, you can actually make up your own storylines. So reading gives you a certain versatility that moving pictures or motion pictures just don't come close to.
Next question. Mr. Smith, is there anything you would like our audience to know and as we conclude this interview?
Well, I'm glad that you just talked about reading, because that is something I would like for the audience to know. I believe that reading is really important to the advancement of all of us. When we read, we can get to learn about other people. And the reason why that's so important is because there's so much misinformation about other people and other cultures. But when you take the time to read, and especially when you read biographies, stories of the individual from the individual's, especially when it's autobiography, from the individual's perspective, we get a chance to find out that even though people may look different, they may even sound different, but we have more in common than not, and you find that out when you read. So I would encourage everyone, read for yourself, read for pleasure, but also read to share with your children, because if adults are going to read, more than likely their children are going to read.
Reading may be boring, but it's learning. Again, I'm your host, Sejan Perkins, and today on our show we had Rodney Smith. Thank you, have a great day, and tune in next time.